respect, unconditional love, married upon self. Ariel Nagael, God of Awakening Gods. I just wanted to tap into a reoccurring thought that's been like circling around the vortex in my melanin, just been spinning around, spinning around, spinning around. And I haven't even spoken on it. Like I did like 3 videos, 4 videos since I had the first thought, and I just kept trying to avoid it in some aspect because I didn't really feel. I mean, I did feel the need to tap on it, but I want the audience large enough to see it. You know what I'm saying? So me trying to just slowly rise with the actual work that should be done. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to see if it'll attract what needs to be attracted by itself. You know, like the law of attraction. Everybody does promotion. They push, they push, they push. And I'm just trying to let energies find its original path. And to me, most of the conscious community to me is distraction. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel some of the brothers and sisters when they talking, but for the most part, it's distraction to me. And the reason why I say stuff of that nature is because of how they go about. It's because the way they talk about what's important, right? So let's just use something small. For example, I'm gonna give you an example. Say you knew somebody, you know, or say you was in a circumstance and it was a car available. Now the car is going the other direction, but the person wants a ride to go the other direction. But the direction the person wants to go, it's not that far. It's literally like a block or two down the street. He can literally walk to it, right? So they end up getting in an argument, going back and forth about, you know what I'm saying, just give me a ride down the street. Like, man, you been sitting there talking about this ride for the last 20 minutes. You could have walked your ass down there, right? It ain't like your feet and your legs, bro. And that's how I look at it when I'm watching the conscious community, because I don't really think with so many different forms of melanin that's here, it really matters, particularly where we're from at this point. Like, I understand the fact for people to know where they come from, but I think that's digging really, really far in the past for in particular reasons that's just not important, right? So I always say, you know what I'm saying, depending on the thought you having, when you like people sit still and they go into a daze and they're thinking about something that happened, and somebody has to say, "Yo, what you doing?" And you snap out of it like, "Oh, I was daydreaming." Okay, that energy in itself to me is the same radical formation that's happening with the conscious community. They want you to look backwards. And while you're looking backwards, despite what's going on with all this history, it's gonna be an emotional feeling that rises with this past thing that you're gonna bring into today. Like, this is why time traveling that far back in your mind is slightly dangerous. If you did that on a smaller scale, say if you was in a relationship or whatever, and you're always focusing on what happened in your life with the last 2 relationships, you're gonna bring that into the new relationship. Thus, already by default, you probably ruined that because the person is not deserving of whatever pains you went through. You know what I'm saying? So you bringing that back up to have them deal with it is the fact that you just didn't want to deal with it, or you're still stuck in your mind about whoever hurt you or whatever you're going through, which is a detrimental thing for anything that you're trying to be new with. So by default, we are a growing community, regardless of how it should be seen, how you want to be looked at. We are a growing community. That means we are constantly leaving the shedded skin, the yesterday, um the last heated argument, you know what I'm saying? We leaving all that shit behind because it's past tense. Only people who are stuck in their mind or love, like what I used to hear from the older people used to say, misery loves company. You know what I mean? So you're miserable and want benediction for shit that really had nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? Like those times are long gone. And this is what people are using for an anchor. And then you have some people that jump so far into what should be going on or the idea of future pretenses to where it has nothing to do with how you see things today. I really, truly believe that we need to focus on, and this is just my own perception. I think I'll focus on how we interface with our melanin right now, right this moment, is way more important than doing anything else. You know what I mean? So this is about awareness, and you can't be aware of what's actually going on if you're always reading and looking back to something that has nothing to do with today. That's just like you play football the way it first started, but you come with those skills to the NFL now, they will break your fucking back, and that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, excuse me, like a old basketball player. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's not nice, but Magic Johnson will get fucking wrecked by some of these new dudes that's out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just what it is. It's the timing difference. Things change. So me focusing on how you were then or where we come from, that's a good thing to know. I'm not gonna downplay it to where it's not imperative to understand if we come from Aborigine Indians or from the center of Africa or if we fell out of the fucking sky. I really don't think it matters because at this point we have changed so much, and there is a particular sense of understanding that should be taking place as far as what you are and what you're capable of right now. So I'm gonna pause it right here for a minute. Somebody at my door. Hold on. So yeah, that was my roommate. Just understanding what you should be tapping in right now is real important. You know what I'm saying? Like knowing yourself completely. I've said this numerous amount of times in my videos. The reason why the Most High or whatever you want to call God in your life is that to a title is because not because it can fly and has electrical powers or it can do anything of supernatural natures. It's because it's all knowing, and that begs to differ about everything or everyone that's in our culture. How all knowing of yourself are you? Like you can't keep going around trying to dig up other people's information and slapping in somebody's face by throwing the pie. It gets redundant, you know what I'm saying? And you even sound more idiotic yelling and screaming or, you know what I'm saying, trying to be cool about something that you had no part about, you know what I'm saying? And see, the more crazy thing about it is, I don't think it's bad to take on troubles of the ancestors or whatever to try to complete something that wasn't completed. But in fact, their DNA didn't fix that. That whatever happened in those iniquities in those times through antiquity, they didn't fix that. You know what I'm saying? So that was branded in the DNA. So whatever we merged from those circumstances out of to become what we are now has nothing to do with today. You know what I'm saying? We are the outcome of them not fixing that problem, which is stagnant in their DNA. So we cannot look backwards because then in fact you are hindering the multiplicity of what came into your new characteristics. As great as you are using your energy for the wrong direction, period. It's about right now. You know what I'm saying? So how well do you know yourself? How capable are you into accessing what that melanin is for you to interface? Like, we're not even talking about good and evil. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe in relativity. And what's relative for the circumstances, you knowing who the fuck you are right now. So going around always pulling up old shit, digging up bodies and motherfucking repeating old shit that was said from times that your ass wasn't even existent, it's redundant. It's stupid. To me, it has no point. Yes, we want to know where we come from. And there are things that can give you different directions on what form of black people, where they came from and stuff of that nature. But does that really matter? Because it's also said in in one text that we covered the whole fucking globe. So why does it matter where the fuck we come from? We know we were the greatest in some aspect at some time and some point. Why the fuck does that matter? Motherfucker, whoever, all these people putting this shit out here, you don't even know where the fuck you come from. Your parents could have been, your great-great-great-grandparents could have been snatched up from somewhere when you was over here doing something else. So everything you pushing out is a passion from a time that's not even relevant to your existence today. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, God of Awakening Gods, Ariel Nagael. Fucking simple motherfuckers. And that's, I'm sorry, yo, that's just how I feel. That's just me personally, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to hold deem to this, but I just see it as, why not focus on the inner self of what you are and elaborate that? You know why? Because they're too busy outside of self. So this right here is not going to make me come to you. You're going to attract what that is. And to me, by default, that's another way to bring the culture down. You see what I'm saying? You're attracting minds that want to grow, right? They want to grow forward, but you're going to teach them information from the past. So with that being said, you're bringing them down to a level that you choose not to tap into, knowing it's a higher form of reality. You choose not to tap into your inner self. So by doing that, you are keeping the culture at a certain place. You see what I'm saying? Stagnation in its fullest. So with that being said, once again, God of Awakening Gods, awaken. And you have to, only way you can do that is about awakening the inner self, going inside you, finding out how you interface with the structure of the physical reality that you deal with today. You see what I'm saying? Your phone will never work unless you put a chip in that motherfucker. So with that being said, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Do what you do, but stay in the past. But the ones who are trying to connect and understand this pretense of going inside yourself and awakening and cleaning up the mess that's inside of you that stops you from having a fortuitive life, know and feel exactly where I'm coming from. Can't keep playing around. It's your boy Ariel Nagael. Respect, unconditional love, marry upon self, God of Awakening Gods. Peace.